Hey there guys, welcome back to another one of my high Capa videos. I'm quite excited to do this video. I've changed my format up a little bit. We've got the new camera mount in play at the moment, so we've kind of got a slightly different angle. Hopefully this one doesn't make you sick. And then I've noticed that when I'm talking sometimes, I'll bring my hands back here and I can be quite vocal with my hands, and you don't get a lot of that. So we've got another camera up there. Hopefully that'll catch a bit more of me talking with my hands. Hopefully it'll make the video a little bit more interesting for you, and you can actually see what I'm fiddling about with stuff as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to get into it. This is off the back of a gameplay I did last week before maybe, and this is my kind of my baby, my Battlecat build. Now, I had a problem with this build, so as I was shooting, I'd go 1, 2, 3, and the trigger would just absolutely lock up, and it wouldn't pull. And I've kind of it was struggling a little bit. I'd get about 3 or 4 pulls, and then it'd stick, and then I'd have to let go, and then do it again. So what we're going to do, because it is still bedding in, we're going to kind of take the slide off. We're going to clean it down. I'm going to open out all the back, take all the gubbins out, get that trigger bar out, give it a bit of a clean, lube it, put it back together again, and see how we go. So I'm going to apologise at this point now. If at any point I end up putting the gun over here and you don't see a lot of it, I am going to try and monitor what I'm doing and keep it as square as I can. I've not actually marked my desk out yet because you've got that one up there and I thought it'd be a bit ugly. So we're going to freestyle it and see how we go. So what we're going to do, we're going to start taking it down, whip that out. First thing I've done there is I've put that straight behind where you can see it. The camera is slightly different up here now as well. I've got a lot narrower view here and here than what I had with the old GoPro. So here we go. This is the upper. As it stands at the moment, we've got 4 short stroke buffers on there, 2 very soft and 2 blue. Tempt to change those out while we're at it as well, because we can. I've got a couple of hard ones, I think. So I think we may end up doing that. Not sure, I quite like the way it was handling, to be fair. Let's not change anything. Pop them over there. I don't know why I'm actually doing this. It's the other side, it's the bottom side I need to take apart. But what I'm going to do, you can see I've got some residue on there. A little bit swarthy, actually. Which is, I suppose, a good thing in a way, because it means that the slide is actually mating. But it's a little bit of a bad thing, because I kind of don't want that in my gun. So we'll give it a clean as we go, and then we'll re-lube as we put back together. And then hopefully, yeah, look at that. Hopefully at the end of it, we'll have a fully functioning working pistol again. Now, it's been fine in all the chronoing and all the testing I've been doing leading up to using it. It was even fine in its last outing, which was effectively its first and only outing, I think, when we went up to Halo Mill. So it's only something which has developed since then. I think I know what it was. I think it developed a little bit of swarf, or I had a little bit of something just kind of dropped down into here. I'm fairly sure I saw something when I was messing about with it before I took it apart. I've had the gun in this state for about two odd weeks now, and I've been wanting to take it apart, and I just haven't, because I wanted to do this on video, because I thought it'd be quite a nice tech video to do, just a bit of a breakdown and the toils and troubles that you go through in airsoft life. So what am I going to do? I need to take the grip off, and I need to take... It's going to be a full strip down, isn't it? That was loud. It's going to be a full strip down, which is marginally aggravating, because I kind of didn't want to do this to this gun yet. So let's... if I do that, it's going to go clunk click. That bit's going to come off there. That's going to go here. Probably doing this in completely the wrong order. I've completely gone to pot because I took the slide off, and it's really done me, that has. So I'll start taking bits off. We'll put the bits over here. Apologies if the bits are rolling off that way and you can't see them. There's really nothing that much there, which is that interesting. Oh, these AIP screws. I wish someone would do some really nice coloured stainless screws, or some screws which aren't made of chocolate, because these things just absolutely terrify me. So I'm kind of holding this together at the moment out of sheer idiocy. Let's do that. If we use 2 hands, we might be in a slightly better position. Let's get a screwdriver into there. No, the bit's too big. So, I mean, I've got to say, for the first game or so where I ran this out, oh my god, it was amazing. It just shot well, it shoots straight. I knew it would do with the barrel grouping and bucking combo that it's got in there, because it always shot brilliantly in my gold match. I just didn't appreciate how much of a pain it was going to be. So there's that off. Now I can see here we've got still got the sear in and everything, so we're going to take that out now. Get me punch. I can all upmark it. I've got real punches, look. I thought the amount of work that I do with these things, I may as well get a proper set. Excuse me. Also, following on from the video I did of the 5KU magwell fitting, this one has disappointed by being an incredibly tight fit. I was kind of hoping it would be a really loose fit and I could shim this one in as well just for some added security, but it's actually doing a pretty damn good job. I need something a bit higher. Don't want to use the frame. Oh, I don't want to use the frame. Feels nasty using the frame. Don't like damaging things. There we go. Okay, so move that out of the way. That over there. Finger on there. Loop that off. Drop that out. Still in one piece. Pop that there. See a spring. Ah, you come. Still in one piece. Mag catch. Also doing this off the cuff as well. This isn't scripted. Excuse me. I couldn't script this if I really wanted to, because you end up fixing the damn thing multiple times in the same way. So not something I can kind of script for you. So there we go. That's kind of taken apart as quickly as I can. So push that trigger out now. See, that's really... Oh, that was janky. That was disgusting. There we go. That pin slipped. Yeah, that pin's not actually sitting straight down the middle. So it's just catching this side completely in on this side. So we'll just readjust that. And I'm sure there is a decent tool for readjusting these. I tend to use the end of a Torx bit, and you can just push it a little bit, which isn't going to work for me. Trigger bow looks off as well. Oh dear, I might need a new trigger bow. Now, you've got to be careful with these because you don't really want to bend. If you put it down like this and hit it, you're just going to bend these bars about. So you've got to kind of sit it up nicely. I'm trying to find... Oh yeah, sellotape. Sellotape's the one. So what I'm going to do, just spin it around for you. I'm going to sit it on the sellotape roll. Sellotape's got a bit of give in it as well. There we go. Just gently tap that. Gently tapped it too far, I reckon, like that. No. Let's go for the punch down. It's just a bit, just a touch too big, that was. That's the one. It's all about getting the right tool for the job, and I've very rarely got the right tool for the job, so I have to make do. There we go. Perfect. That is in a bit further. What I'm going to do, though, I am going to just knock it in a bit further again. I don't believe it's crept out, but if I've bodged it badly first time round, I don't want it to do it again. Definitely in that time. Is it sticking out that side? Yeah, just ever so slightly out this side now. Typical. but we've got a bit of room, so we're just noggin it in again. There we go. Right. That's done. Thank you, sellotape roll. So let's start this rebuild. So while I've got it apart, I'm going to just give it a bit of a wipe out. Make sure there's no sludge, nothing, no nastiness in there. Do the full magwell as well. It's only ever run on HPA, this one, so it shouldn't have anything nasty in the way, but, you know, we'll see. Or won't see at all. It's done. So, Ode Faithful Abbey Gun Oil. All I'm going to do here is just put a tiny little dab there. Tiny little dab there. Because then when we drop it in, that tiny little dab is... Whoop, wrong way up. The tiny little dab will push backwards. It's almost like it doesn't want... There we go. There we go. See how easy that is to move now. Funny that when you haven't got something in the way. So that is really easy. I'm quite happy with that. Great, as Tony would say. So, next step. Now, when I took this apart, I had this off, and then I took this off, but this is going to be so much easier if I put this on now, and then go for that. So, because then I'm not having to do this under tension. So we'll pop those in. And then we release this up, pop the jobber in. JD'd. That is really, really so much better than it was. It's really difficult to quantify to you, just the feeling on that. I appreciate as well, this probably isn't going to be the most riveting of videos because it's going to be difficult for me to get you in close enough to see exactly what I'm doing on this thing because it's so intricate because the camera's way up here again. But we'll see how we go. So I'm going to pop that grip screw in. I'm trying to keep my hands out of the way as well, which isn't really easy. Now, something I like doing with these. So these are all, you know, this is a plastic screw going into, metal screw going into plastic. So you've got to be a little bit careful not over tighten, but you can just kind of just squeeze it together a bit and just get a bit of tension on it just to nip tight and then just let go. Back it off. Don't over tighten these things. It's really not good for them. But by the same token, you do want it tight enough. So I'm just going to make a bit more room. And what I'm going to do now is going to drop these grip screws in again while we're in a position where we're not kind of spring loaded. I can really pull these together because these are not something you ever want to over tighten. You over tighten these snap off, you are drilling them out. They're not great, but AIP are the only people who are doing these really nice funky colour screws at the moment. AM if you're watching, there's market room. So we'll just put them in. Again, it's just nip tight. What I'm going to do with these, just put it in and just one finger it round. I don't know if you can see, top of my finger there. There's... Oh shit, like that. No! Well, we've screwed that one, guys. That was unfortunate. It's always going to happen at some point. Didn't think I'd be doing it yet. And now... Oh dear. We've got a problem on our hands. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to try and get the grip off, which I should be able to do if I'm careful. So what I should be able to do is just part it a little bit there. Don't want to go sticking sharp bits in, but what you can do is just, there we go, part it enough like that, you can just about get at it. I'm going to pop that over there. Now we've got to kind of work this bit. So hopefully I can... I mean, if this was like a really bad one and that was completely flush, what you'd probably try and do with it is you would get some kind of like stud extractors into it. Now I don't have stud extractors, but what I am going to try and do is just try and nibble it out with pliers. Because it wasn't tight and there's kind of no tension on this screw, so there's nothing really that's stopping it from turning. So that is turning, thankfully. Oh boy, thank God for that. There we go. So, there's a very good example for you of why we have to be so careful with these screws. What I'm going to do with these screws is pop them over there. I've done really well not to swear as well. I'm going to just kind of caveat my work with that. Excuse me, just grab a quick drink. I could have so easily swore there. Always happens at the worst time. And the reason they broke wasn't because I was doing it too tight. It was because I was slagging them off as a product. I was saying, oh, these are bloody awful. AM, there's room in the marketplace for you. That's why they broke. It's not because of anything other than that. So, what we're going to do, we're going to try again. So, where are we? Grip, yep, that's good. Ding, 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 ding. Pop that together on there. We're going to pop that in there. Now, I'm extremely lucky. I mean, I could have probably just put black grip screws back into this, which would have been okay. However, I have recently ordered up some gold grip screws for my gold match, which is over there. So what I've actually done is I've took my Waldo slightly purple Thunderbolt screws out, which means they don't have a home. Which means they've now got a home, which is in there. Yeah, the purple, I think the purple will just about get me by. Now these are steel, so you kind of don't want to dog them up tight. You can use slightly more than nip tight. Don't know why you'd want to though. So we're going to pop these back together. I did want, to be fair, I did want steel bolts for this build. I was looking at some black ones, but I suppose these will do now until we catch up with Kyle. Right, so that's changed the look of my build a little bit, hasn't it? That's not too bad. Right, we're back. What's next? Sear spring. So, looking at the sear spring, we've got the bit that holds the beaver tail back, another bit, and another bit. I'm not sure what all these bits actually do. So we're going to pretty much paint by numbers with it and see if we can just fudge it together. This is why I've got the camera up there, because I do this and then it goes off camera and then you can't see me and then everybody moans at me and, oh, Stevie, you're not doing this right. Right. You up there. You up there. So I really did like doing this bit because I always get it bloody wrong. So slide you in there. And it's so bloody fiddly. They've just done that without even looking at it. And got it wrong because we've got that bit in there that just needs to kind of sit down. Oh, God. Yeah, I'll do sear spring on cam. Don't do sear springs on cam. Oh, there we go. So I have got a replacement sear spring ready waiting to go. And the reason for that is I thought initially at first that it was the sear spring causing me the problem. Didn't for one second think, oh, it's going to be the the pin on the trigger, and that's just through my own poor fitment, really. Cool, that's in. So I don't know how well you can see that, but the beaver safety that sits out. Your middle one, I don't know what the words are that they sit on. That just sits on top, and then the right hand one, I think that's the disconnector. That sits on top. So then we'll drop that down. Oh, it's jumped out of place already. Just maneuver that into place. I think if it's jumping out of place, it's not a bad thing. Just lift that up a little bit, because that's going to then go up the middle of your hammer jobber. And then that's going to sit over that while it's sitting around that. Ooh, it sounds like it worked. I'm going to flick the magwell on. Just bop the pin through. Just to hold it for now. Trigger doesn't feel mushy anymore, which is super nice. Bolts a little bit blingy, quite like them. Let's get that situated properly. I'm just going to put a bit of padding down, just so that we don't cause a ruckus with the mic. I'm really particular with these pins. I don't like them to protrude too far, and I mean that is just a touch too far that way. I could sit for hours adjusting these pins. I'm not going to, because it'll be a bloody boring video for you. There we go. Yep, that'll do. What we got next? So we'll go for mag catch next, I think. Whoop. Now I'm just going to drop a tiny diddly bit of oil in here. And then just a smear on the outside of it, just to help it round. Not a lot, just enough so that my fingers are a little bit dampened by it. And it just sits in nicer. Nicer is the word. Who'd have thought we'd have been changing the way the BC looks in this video? I'm so annoyed at myself. I'm so careful with these grip screws. I suppose it happens to everybody at some point, but not me. Not me. Right. Something else I did notice with this build was my adapter had come loose. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull that out. So this is, I suppose really this is more of like a post-game, I don't know, post-game touch-up of, look how bent that thing is. Post-game tied up. Wow, that isn't loose at all. Okay, maybe it didn't. Maybe it was just me. So that's... there's a little... Yeah, it'll be fine. We're not doing a full strip and clean. That would be boring. Put you back together. Put you into there. Now, I did wipe all the swarf off the inside of that. So we're going to lube up as we go. Dab, 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 dab. That's all it needs. It doesn't need to be bathed, I'm told. This is a bit that always gets me on this gun. Whee! Let's put it together properly. It's because it's so far over there away from my table. So spring guide, plug, short strokes, spring, clunk click. Oh yeah, there we go. Bit of tension on there. Get you back on. That does look a little bit wet through there. That barrel's not quite sitting in. Just sit low. Just sit tight. It's a bit too wet actually. What I'll do is I'll just rub it in a little bit. I don't want it to be like oozing wet, but it does just need to be enough. Oh, that's interesting. Why is it doing that? That's why. Barrel's off. There we go. It goes in now. Like a glove. There we go. Trigger fixed. Battlecat upgraded. I'm not too sure on those screws. They're not purple. They're as purple as they can be, I suppose. I might see if I can tap Waldo up, see if he's got some really purple looking ones. But other than that, Battlecat is now repaired. We are back out next Thursday evening as well at Skirmish CQB. We're going to be hitting that place up quite a lot now. Now they've got some midweek games going on. So keep an eye out for some gameplay videos. Skirmish always is really good for gameplay videos. It's so tight, it's so fast, you're just constantly moving. So thank you very much if you've made it this far through the video. Apologies that we had a bit of a mishap, but we did manage to fix it as well, so I'm quite glad about that. If anybody wants a free AIP screw, hit me up. All you've got to do is cover postage and my time, which will be about £800. And I'll even send you the broken one as well. Thank you very much. Please hit like on my video if you've gotten this far and you are enjoying the content I do. Please give me some feedback as well on whether you're liking the whole twin camera setup. I'm quite liking it. It gives me a little bit more to play with, a little bit more kind of creative work, and I can, you know, talk a bit more like this as well, and you know, you're getting more than just like fingertips here. So hit me up with those comments, and obviously the absolute gold standard, if you're not already, would be for a sub. And hopefully you enjoy my content and you watch plenty more of it. Thank you very much, and I will catch you in the next one.